Billionaire CEO mocked the actress, then froze when she spoke fluent Arabic and saved his $300 million deal. The rooftop restaurant in Dubai glittered under the night sky. Expensive suites, golden chandeliers, and a skyline of glass towers surrounded the billionaire American CEO, Richard Hale, as he prepared for the most critical dinner of his career. Across the table sat Sheikh Al-Masri, a powerful investor whose approval could secure a $300 million contract for Hale's company. But from the start, Richard's arrogance filled the room. He sneered at the staff, dismissed the waiters with curt hand gestures, and when a young waitress nervously approached with wine, he smirked. "Careful with that, sweetheart. This bottle costs more than your monthly paycheck." The table chuckled except Sheikh Al-Masri. The Sheikh's dark eyes narrowed, his lips tightening. He said something softly in Arabic to his advisor, words Richard couldn't understand, but the tension at the table grew heavy. The waitress Layla froze at the insult. She wanted to stay silent, but then she heard the Sheikh's next words. Her eyes widened. She understood every syllable. Sheikh Al-Masri was saying he was about to walk out. Furious at Richard's disrespect for Arab culture, language, and hospitality. Richard had no idea. He kept bragging about his company, blissfully unaware that the deal was seconds away from collapse. That's when Layla stepped forward. She placed the wine gently on the table and, in flawless Arabic, said, "Honored Sheikh, I apologize on behalf of my guest. He did not mean disrespect. In our culture, mistakes of the tongue can happen, but sincerity is shown in action, not words." The entire table went silent. Richard blinked, stunned. You speak Arabic." But Layla ignored him. She turned to the Sheikh and continued, explaining Hale's project in precise cultural terms, using proverbs, etiquette, and references that only someone deeply respectful of Arab tradition would know. She spoke of partnership, of mutual honor, of shared vision. The Sheikh's advisor leaned over and whispered to him. The Sheikh's heart expression softened. Finally, he laughed a deep, hearty laugh. "You," he said, pointing at Layla, "you have more respect than the man seeking my money." Then, to Richard's shock, Sheikh Al-Masri signed the deal on the spot, but the Sheikh wasn't finished. He stood and said, "I will invest, but only under one condition. This young woman must be part of your team. Without her, you would have lost everything tonight." Richard's face turned red. The waitress he had mocked was now the reason he had secured $300 million. She simply picked up her tray and smiled. She hadn't just saved a deal, she had rewritten her future. The Burj Al Sara was the most exclusive rooftop restaurant in Dubai. Golden lanterns lined the terrace, casting warm light over glass tables as the desert night breeze swept across the skyline. It was here that Richard Hale, a billionaire CEO from New York, planned to secure the single most important contract of his career. Across from him sat Sheikh Khalid Al-Masri, a man whose decisions could shift markets overnight. Hale's tech conglomerate desperately needed the Sheikh's $300 million investment to break into the Middle East. Richard was confident. Too confident. Dressed in a $1,000 tailored suit, he leaned back in his chair, radiating arrogance. "Once you see our numbers, Sheikh Khalid, you'll understand why partnering with Hale Global is the smartest decision you'll make this year." The Sheikh said nothing, sipping his tea. His advisor, a man named Omar, sat quietly beside him, listening. A young waitress approached with a bottle of Chateau Margaux. She was no older than 24, with dark hair tied neatly back and eyes that seemed to observe everything. "Her Namatag," read Layla. She carefully held the bottle, ready to pour. Richard smirked. "Careful, sweetheart. This wine costs more than your rent. Don't spill it." A few men at the table chuckled, but Sheikh Khalid's jaw tightened. His culture valued dignity, and mocking those who served was a sign of weakness. He exchanged a look with Omar, and then, in a low voice in Arabic, muttered, This man has no honor. We end this dinner soon. Layla's eyes widened. She understood every word. Richard, oblivious, went on bragging. Our technology is unmatched. We're pioneers. You'll want to be on the winning team. But she could feel it, this deal was collapsing. The sheik was seconds away from walking out, and Richard didn't even know it. Layla's hands trembled slightly as she set the wine down. She should stay silent. She was just a waitress. But if she didn't speak up, Hale Global would lose everything tonight. She drew a breath, and in flawless, respectful Arabic, she spoke. Honored Sheik, please forgive the words of my guest. His tongue is quick, but his heart seeks partnership. In our culture, mistakes can happen at the table, but sincerity is proven through action. The entire table went silent. Richard froze, his glass halfway to his lips. You speak Arabic? Layla ignored him, her eyes on the sheik. She continued, weaving proverbs into her speech. She explained Hale's project, not in cold corporate language, but through values: sheik, Khalid, respected, family, trust, legacy. She said softly, a partnership is not a purchase, it is a bond. If you join hands, your names will not just be written on contracts, they will be spoken in the future as builders of something greater. Omar, the advisor, leaned toward the sheik and whispered, she speaks with wisdom. She shows respect where he shows pride. Finally, the sheik smiled for the first time that night. He set his cup down and looked at Richard. This young woman has spoken with more respect and vision in 5 minutes than you have in 1 hour. Richard's face turned red. He stammered, yes, of course. That's exactly what I meant. The sheik raised a hand to silence him. Then, to everyone's shock, he took out the contract, signed it, and said, I will invest the $300 million, but on one condition: she must be part of your company. Without her, you would have lost everything tonight. Richard's jaw dropped. His billion-dollar ego shattered in front of the entire table. Layla bowed her head respectfully. She hadn't just saved a deal. She had changed her own destiny. And as the desert wind carried laughter across the rooftop, Richard Hale realized that the waitress he mocked now held the keys to his empire.